Okay, let's have a look at this. So we have the Eight of Wands now. This can be the energy picks up when the Eight of Wands comes in. It can be it kind of denotes speed for me. I always see this as the minor arcana version of the Chariot. You know, and the Chariot's all about victory, and this is not exactly a victory card, but it does kind of indicate speed, things moving along, opportunities coming in, messages coming in. And I think that's how we get to the messages part, because you know messages can be opportunities. And this would be communication, back and forth communication, very rapid communication. Just be a little careful, you know, Mercury is retrograde. And I don't think that, you know, I mean, I'm saying this when my Instagram messed up on Thursday. So, you know, there can be problems with communications, but often it's that people are communicating differently. They're saying things that they wouldn't normally say because they feel a different way, right? Because Mercury's retrograde. So you might expect someone to say something a certain way, but just double check that, you know, you're getting the meaning right when the Eight of Wands comes up. One of my main ways that I love communicating is by voice notes, because it's much easier to misinterpret something that's written than it is something that's said. I mean, even if something's said, people can not fully comprehend where you were coming from. So it's about being very clear in your communications. But yeah, opportunities coming in, things picking up this week. So there's that kind of energy coming in. What is this to do with? Well, it may be to do with someone who's like this, the King of Cups. So it could be water energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Doesn't have to be, right? They don't own the cards. They just lend their energy to it. And I do love the King of Cups because he is very nurturing, very caring, he's very kind of family energy, you know, he's romantic. He knows how he feels, but he is a king. And kings have reached mastery of this. So he has great control over his emotions. Not so much like the King of Swords. I mean, the King of Swords, he has emotions, but he just ignores them. He concentrates on the logic. This guy doesn't ignore his emotions, but he doesn't always express them until he's ready to. So there is that energy with the King of Cups, you know, he's going to bide his time. This could be someone that, you know, who has immense feelings for someone, but they're not saying it. Is that you, Leo? Is that you? I don't know, though. I'll be honest, because obviously, first of all, it's a general, so the energies can go both ways. But with this coming up, communication, and with some of these other cards, have a look how many cups came up. There is confusion that comes out of this, and I'm jumping ahead, but it's underneath him. So I feel kind of actually that the secrets do come out here, but we'll see. And it's to do with something from the past. The Ten of Cups comes up here. Now, this might be your idea of what the happily ever after looks like, right? Happy families, the white picket fence, or whatever it is that denotes your complete heart's contentment. Now, some of you might have felt that you had this in the past, and for whatever reason, it's gone. You know, it's gone. I'm going to read these two together, actually, because this is the present. We have the Six of Cups here. Because the Six of Cups, it's about thinking back to a time when you were happy, when you were truly happy, which would have been that. So these two cards, they work really well together. And he's even looking towards this, right? So this could be someone from that you've known before, that you had feelings for in the past. Maybe they weren't communicated, or that they never told you how they felt. And I know I'm going it's a general reading, and it's supposed to be general. And I do usually stick to the general energies. But guys, it is kind of looks that way, right? Now, you're happily ever after. It can be in a work situation, but you apply that energy as it is. I can only go for the main story. As you guys have seen in previous weeks, I can go a number of different ways, but then I'd need like 2 hours for each video to give every single outcome. That's why I try to concentrate on just the energies. And that's how energies work, you know. We have the opportunity to use them in whichever way we want. So somebody's happily ever after might indicate some job that they want to work at, you know, and that this is your heart's desire, but you've not really been fully exploring it or going for it, but you've known that this is what you want, but you kind of gave up on that dream because this is that happily ever, whatever that happily ever after is for you. And now maybe some communication comes in and you think, wow, I actually can work at that place. A dream that you had before, right? Looking back at that. So see, it can be used in other areas, but let's stick to, this is something that made you really happy in the past. That you might have thought this was your be all end all. It might have just been the concept, you know, of your happily ever after. But whatever the Ten of Cups shows, I mean, this can be families. I don't really like it when cards like the Ten of Cups or the Ten of Pentacles get linked totally to family situations. For some people, they can be, right? But the actual energy of the card is What is it about that family? What is it about that? It's your heart's contentment. It's everything's complete. You know, you have the couple, you have the baby, usually you have like a beautiful house, the land, everything. All the cups are there, like the rainbow above them. It is the fairy tale happily ever after. For whatever reason, you're looking back at this. This could have been last week, last month, last year, whenever this was. And you're thinking back, you're looking back at this. Why? Did someone come back from that period in your life? And it could be a friend, could be a colleague, could be anyone. But Six of Cups can be the return of someone, could be a childhood friend. But normally the energy of the Six of Cups is nostalgia, just looking back. Now, I think you're looking back not of your own accord, not because, you know, you just decide to wake up and start, oh, wasn't that nice when I had this? Because of this. This is sat above it. So it's either going to be an opportunity that comes in now for a wish you had in the past. This is bigger than a wish. This was your everything you had. But for whatever reason, I don't know why it's in the past, why it's the foundation here. Because if it was still ongoing, wouldn't it be in the present or the future? So some opportunity comes in about this. Now, the thing is, with the moon coming here, it could be that you don't know how you feel about it. But with the King of Cups coming here, you do know how you feel about it. There's no way the King of Cups does not know how he feels. There's just no way. He might not be saying how he feels about it just yet, but he knows. So what does that mean? What does that mean for the moon card coming up as a future energy? Well, what it means is you're not sure you have all the information about this. You're not sure if it's too good to be true. You're kind of confused by whatever this is. Now, think about it. You know, if someone from your past is messaging you, they obviously might be that thing of, why is this person messaging me after so long? Like, you know, this is kind of weird. What do they want from me? It could be that. Or like I said before, like a misunderstanding with what was said. Or if you even want that old dream that you had in the past, is it something that you still want? Yeah, you're looking back and thinking that was great then. But does it work for you now? And the moon shows all of that, you know, confusion, illusion. There's secrets here. And the thing is, he is secretive as well. He can be. I know a lot of people don't see him like that. I don't think he's mean. I think he's, you know, that whole still waters run very deep with the King of Cups. He's not ready to say how he feels until he's ready to say how he feels. What the moon says to you is, and if you can, the example I always give is if you're standing at, you know, the top of a street, you're looking down and there's moonlight, there's spots of moonlight, you can see bits, but there's parts in shadow. And it is a card of illumination like the sun. However, we don't look at what's revealed to us. We look at what's not revealed, what's in the shadows. And when you look at what's in the shadows, you can't really see what's in the shadows. Yeah, I bet you anything, your brain will come up with dozens of things, like, you know, hundreds of things even, saying, oh, there's a wild beast there, there's a hole there, there's a ditch there, I'm going to trip up there, someone's waiting to attack me there. All of those things. But you don't actually know any of that. That's the shadow. That's your fears, your doubts speak into the shadows. So there's only one thing you can do. If you want to get to the other end of that street, you have to walk down the street on faith and go have a look in the shadows. Confront whatever it is that you think is frightening you there. I do feel like more information is needed. I kind of feel that whatever this communication is or the opportunity that comes in, it actually kind of confuses you more. Or maybe it's not even the communication, the fact that this comes in, whatever this is. And I'm sorry, I know it seems quite a specific energy, but that's how it's coming up. It might just be that it relates to one or two people. It's the question mark this week is, do I still want that dream or do I have a new dream? Does that still represent my happily ever after? And you have to consult your heart for that and confront the bloody fears that come up. We all have them, the fears and doubts. Because look at what the advice is. And both of these cards, they lead to the future never just happens, right? So I kind of feel the future energy, the moon, it's about walking that path on faith. But faith isn't blind faith. It's not, oh God, I have no idea. Or, you know, you kind of know there might be like a wild dog out there or something, but you're still going to go. That's not what faith is. Faith is knowing. You know. I know I can trust myself. I know I can handle this. That's why we can go on faith. And that's why we have the Page of Pentacles coming up as the advice. The Page of Pentacles says he's like the student, you know, that does all of his homework. He's doing the revision for the exams. Get more information on this. Try to look at the details of it. Go look at the shadows, right? Go look at the shadows. You don't have to try. I mean, you've got a king sat here. You don't have to trust the shadows. You don't have to trust anything outside of yourself. Trust that you will know your feelings, this, your divine guidance system. You'll know what to do with it. But if any opportunity comes in, the Eight of Wands is usually straightforward. Like, have a look, they're in formation. So, you know, they're usually straightforward, direct stuff. But I can understand, like with Mercury being retrograde, all the retrograde planets, there's a lot of kind of introspection, looking within. Like, what does this mean? Is this really for me? Have a look. Really have a look at what you feel. You know, what are the details, the practical details? Because I think the feeling stuff is all here. You know how you felt. You know now how you feel about this in the present. You know that you're afraid of certain stuff. So this is all very emotional energy coming up. But that's why the advice is, like, be a bit practical. Get as many details as you can. Have a look at this. This is kind of like the grunt work, the kind of boring little, reading the small print. That's what the Page of Pentacles is. He reads the small print. And I would say do that, because this is some massive energy coming in. Beautiful, not trying to downplay it in any way, because it's just that you have fears and doubts about it. So to allay your own doubts and fears, please read the small print, because you can be, look at them. They're just looking up at the rainbow of cups. It can be kind of, you can be bedazzled by it. It can be very distracting to think, oh my God, I've got all that there. But I will say this about the Page of Pentacles. Sometimes when we look close, right, it doesn't look like much. And we think, is that all there is? Like all of this fanfare and all of this? But it's something that can build into something huge. You know, it can become something much bigger with the Page of Pentacles showing up here. Pages, I always say this, they're like aces for me. Yeah, like the Ace of Pentacles, right? So let's see what we have coming up from the Oracle cards for you. We have true love. This love is a once in a lifetime love. That's how it kind of feels. And you know, the thing is, a lot of times when we encounter something that feels like, you know, like, oh my God, I'm never going to love anything as much as I loved this before. This could have been something from the past. Like, this might be a brand new situation that's coming up, a brand new person that you meet, someone that you're communicating with or on offer. And it's just reminding you of the situation in the past. And that's the thing. When people experience true love like this, they think it can only happen once because it feels so amazing. I tell that story every time. I'm not going to tell it with this one, but you know, that's how love works. It feels like true love. It feels like true love. And it's beautiful that it does. That's why we do this again and again. No matter how hard we get burned, no matter how much we get hurt, we come back for more because it is true love. And I don't just mean with that person. If they hurt us, this is what I was talking about. The faith thing. You just have to trust yourself. We have no place like home coming up. What is home? It's the place where we're the safest, where we feel secure, right? Where we get comfort. And this card reminds you that you always have a safety, security, all of that stuff in your own being. You provide that for yourself. So you don't have to ever be afraid wherever you go. You know, you are your own home and you can trust yourself. Now, how do you keep yourself safe, or how do you bring yourself that comfort? By being authentically who you are. And I'm kind of getting this, that is secretive energy in the middle. That is secretive energy in the middle. Now, it might be that the Page of Pentacles is telling you to go slowly. If you think things are being hidden from you, that something's being shown to you kind of very kind of salesman-like. Oh, here, look at this. And you're being kind of bedazzled by it. Take a look under the hood, right? That's what the Page of Pentacles says. Go slowly. You know, you don't just have to buy the car because it's got shiny red paint on it. Have a look under the hood. Check it out. See, and I said hood. That's so American. Bonnet. We say the bonnet, but I hang around with too many Americans. That's what the problem is. But yeah, you know, it's very much this energy of, it's okay to go and explore it. Whatever this energy is, however you're feeling, it's fine to go and explore it because you will keep yourself safe. And this card talks about authenticity. So if you're feeling something, authentically express from that emotion. You don't have to hide it. If you're not trusting what someone else is expressing to you, say that and say, I want more information. Let me have a look here. What's going on? Right. Let's get you a postcard from Spirit. It says, Dear you, human beings spend a huge percentage of life asleep, not just in bed, but the kind where you forget you are a spiritual, immortal being taking on a temporary human form. It's not your fault. Everyone suffers from spiritual amnesia once in a while. As you develop an identity, an ego, you begin to see through the eyes of a small self and have less connection to your soul self. You may not recognize this is going on, but you sure can feel it. We're here to remind you to look through your soul's eyes and see that magic is everywhere. Infinite potential lies in spirit, who is teaming with you to fulfill the contract you made to contribute to the evolution of the whole world. Wake up and remember that all the help you need is orchestrated in the invisible realms. Your mind, in alignment with divine intelligence, is unstoppable. The world is yours to co-create. You are so loved and we are all behind you. And I'll say this. I mean, I know wands for me, that's the energy that we put out into the world. So that is kind of manifestation energy, but you have that underlying. But then it's our emotion, right? That's our vibration. How do you feel about this? That's what you need to get to the bottom of this week. How do I feel? And that might be why you want to go slowly. That might be where you want to take things apart and have a look at it properly. Say, well, do I really feel that way about this? Or am I just remembering how I used to feel? That once upon a time, this would have been an amazing offer for me, or this is what I wanted. Do I still want that though? And if you don't want it, why? Is it because of fears and doubts, or because you have feelings for something else now? Because the King of Cups, he always knows how he feels. And you know, if you watch my last week's videos and I talked about being awake and asleep and all of the stuff, I don't usually like those kinds of terms, but you know, they are words, and unfortunately, you know, semantics is a thing. I think this is about waking up to how you feel now. Sometimes we can have a dream in the past that was amazing, but we might not want that anymore because we change, right? We do change. And this, like I said, it can be last week, last month, last year. You may not want this anymore, but it is an opportunity nevertheless.